During the violence over the past couple of weeks, the horrific stabbings of those girls at the dance studio, and then of course people pouring into the streets, and it's been fascinating to watch the propaganda, right? It's been unbelievable to watch the propaganda from the mainstream media.
They will call
if
you
you call
racist.
out,
They will call
if you call
a
out
bigot.
this violence, you call attention
what
to
is
it.
happening there,
You're
and you
labeled a
try to
bigot. You're
point
labeled
out
a
how
racist.
what's
And of
happening
course,
there
the
is about to
clampdowns
happen
on
to the
social
United States
media.
of America.
So just kind of
Race
paint a
riots
picture where
across
we
the
are
country,
right now,
and
here in the middle, towards the
more
end of
illegal
August.
immigrants causing violence and destruction in
today
these countries.
there's been more stabbings.
For that, we want to bring in today, new to the show.
2 days ago, there was a
Digby
woman and some
Furno.
children
He
also
is
stabbed.
his journalist and
just
host of
outside
Man
Manchester.
on the Run.
These
And
things aren't being
joins us, he
reported
knows
properly by the
deeply about
media.
what's
They're more
happening in
interested
this part
on
of the
talking
world,
about
and,
people who have
and can shed
posted
some
dirty
light
words on
all
social
of this
media
latest
and are
violence.
fast
You've been doing a
tracking
great
these
job
people
of covering this,
into
Digby.
jail
Welcome
within
to the
24
show.
hours. Some of these are OAPs, old age pensioners, sort of in their 60s,
So
in their
let's just bring
70s,
our
with no
audience up to
previous
speed.
record. They are going through the criminal justice system, the two-tiered justice system that we now have in the UK, and they are in jail within 24 hours. The problem here is that the prisons are already overpopulated in the UK, and now we have a one-in, one-out system. Operation Early Dawn, I believe it's now called. So, if you're a rapist, if you're a murderer, if you're a robber, you could get let out of jail early because somebody has said something that somebody deems offensive online, which to me is just
where we
absolute
are right now,
madness.
here in the middle, towards the end of August.
What do you
Okay, so I mean, today
say to those who say that these this violence is being staged? And I've definitely seen videos of burnings of burnings of the Israeli flag and other things like that. So can you talk about some of the staging? It seems like anytime you see one of these events, right, you see a lot of this chaos. We're seeing it at the Democratic National Convention as we speak. Antifa infiltrating different riots and rabble-rouse. So you see this on a regular basis. Now, what do you say to those who say, all of this so-called violence, these stabbings, it's all fake. It's all being staged. What do you say to those people?
I don't think it's fake. I think some things are being encouraged. Certainly the way that Keir Starmer has gone about this since he started his premiership. He has turned groups of the UK against each other. There is no left, there is no right. There is far left and there is far right. He only spoke yesterday in Northern Ireland, calling anybody that was right far right, he was calling them racists. You know, this is, you're labeling your own people, and people are gonna start going, well, if I'm a bloody racist now, I'll start acting like a racist. That's not okay, but you can see how this can affect people, working class, who have already felt like they've been forgotten by the government, forgotten by their peers, and just left out of pasture. And now the government is telling them that they're racist. It's enraging them. And they're not racist. You know, my comments, I like to think that my comments on social media haven't been racist. I'm not calling for any violence. I want exactly the opposite of that. But there needs to be a safe way for people to protest against what's happening in the UK. Because it is becoming a police state, and it's absolutely horrific.
As a public figure, as a person who's active on social media, as a journalist, do you fear, you think that your words haven't crossed this new line, this new, legal line in the UK? How do you feel about that right now?
It's a tricky one for me. I'm in Morocco at the moment. I'm about to move to Portugal next week. I haven't been back to the UK for a couple of months. I'm worried that somebody will deem what I've said online as inciting violence. I certainly don't believe that that's what I have been doing. But you don't know the parameters of this. Is it now illegal in the UK to stand up for what you believe in? It's looking that way at the moment, and this is horrific. I mean, Macron just posted online not so long ago that if Elon Musk doesn't start complying with the terms and conditions of his contract with the EU, the X is going to be shut down in the European Union. They're also talking about doing this in the UK. This is the end of free speech in Europe.
Protest.
This is a world economic agenda in my book. This is a push for a globalist, totalitarian society.
So let's talk about the World Economic Forum. Let's talk about this globalist agenda. What do you think the ultimate goal is for Europe with this mass invasion of migrants? And we should all point out, I think it's very, very important. I always try to point it out on the United States side.
It's a tricky one.
The reason we see this destabilization in these countries, in Syria, as my friend of the show, Kavor Kalmasian, points out, there was no such thing as a Syrian refugee before the West decided to destabilize Syria and destroy that country. Syria was one of the most peaceful countries in the world, one of the safest countries in the world, until the West decided to destabilize it. So there was no such thing as a Syrian refugee before. Same with Yemen, same with Sudanese refugees. All of these refugees are as a result of Western interventionism, imperialism, moving into these countries, robbing and raping their minerals and resources, and taking over their labor, and all of those things. So I always want to make sure that that's put out there, whether it's Haiti, whether it's Honduras, whether it's Syria, or whether it's Yemen, right? That's where it starts. So what now we're seeing, though, is that was the catalyst. Now we're seeing the end of that, which is this mass migration pattern, and we pretend like we don't know how it started. But what's the goal?
Well, I think you have to realize that the people that are coming over illegally on the boats from France to the UK are primarily fighting age men. There's no women, there's no children, or if they are, they're a rarity. In my opinion, women and children flee war and men run to it. That's the way that it works. Accident on their airplane, women and children off there. So why are fighting age males coming over to the UK in their thousands, in their tens of thousands? You have to also remember as well, the UK is a much smaller country than the US. It takes a lot less people to destabilize a nation than it would do in America. You've got vast land masses and millions of people. So, although having your effect on your population, on your people, it's easier to sort of test it and practice it somewhere like the UK, and I feel like
So I always want to make sure that that's what out there.
Increase facial recognition cameras.
Honduras,
Preventing
whether
people
it's
from
Syria,
going into certain areas.
Yemen.
They're now talking about attacks per mile.
Now we're seeing though is that was the
These
catalyst.
are
Now
all
we're seeing
things that anybody
the end
who's
of that,
followed the
which
West
is this mass
agenda for the last
migration
few
patterns,
years
and we
realize
pretend like
that
we
these
don't
are
know how it
goals
started. But what's the goal?
the World Economic Forum. And
Well,
then
I
right
think you
on
have
cue,
to
we've got the
realise
next
that the
pandemic about MPOX.
people that are coming over illegally from
if
France
you
to the
step
UK
back and you can do
primarily
some
fighting
small
age
amount of
men.
research, it's all
there's no
there.
women,
You
there's
just
no
have to
children,
look at
or
the
if
World
they are,
Economic
they're
Forum YouTube channel.
In my opinion,
See how Bill Gates talks
women
about
and
we need to
children
reduce the
flee
population of the
and
earth
men
because it's
run to
overcrowded, and the best way to
that's
do that
the
is
way
through
that it
vaccination.
works.
I was vaccinated
Men
twice
with women and children off first.
And I had a stroke after one, and I had a heart attack after the other.
In there,
So I know what it's like.
tens of thousands. You have to also remember as well, the UK is a
Like
much
to be
smaller
vaccine
country
damaged.
than the
And
US.
I
Takes a lot less
certainly
people
wouldn't comply
to
with any of this
stabilise
caveat. That's
a
my
nation
personal
than
opinion.
it would
Anybody
do
watching
in
can
America.
do whatever they want to do, but certainly from my point of view, I just find
millions of people. So, you know, although it's
I
having
mean,
your effect
connecting the dots on all of this,
on
absolutely
your
right.
population,
I mean,
on
it is
your
about
people, it's
replacement.
easier
It is
to
about
sort of
control.
test it and
And it is
practice it.
about clamping
somewhere
down
like
on our freedoms,
I
and
feel
plus the
like
World
that's
Economic Forum is not in favor of borders, doesn't believe in nation states, and wants this control, and so does the United Nations, by the way. And they need an army. They need to raise an army of young, fighting-age men. And where do you get them? You get them from these destabilized countries with the promises of some sort of money, whatever, in order to turn these men into agents of the United Nations as an army. I think you're absolutely right about that. I gotta ask you though, after you had this stroke, I'm sure my audience is thinking that you had a stroke. How soon was it after
If you
taken the
step
shot
back and you can do some small amount with sound,
did you decide to go back and
just
then
have to
have
look
the
at
second
the World
one?
Economic Forum YouTube channel.
So I used to run a pub in West Sussex, in the UK. And to reopen the pub after lockdown, it was very clear that I needed to get the
I was
vaccine.
vaccinated.
I also had just started a charity delivering aid to Ukraine at the time, so we were driving over to Ukraine with loads of supplies for the refugees crossing over at the Poland-Ukraine border. I wasn't allowed out of the country unless I got the vaccine. About 2 months afterwards was when I had the symptoms of a stroke. I was at a race day with my family. Luckily there was an ambulance very nearby.
I mean,
And
connecting the
my wife
dots
just
and
said
all
to me,
is absolutely
one side
right.
of your face
It
is
is
completely
about
drooped.
replacement.
Stayed like
It
that
is
for
about
2 weeks.
control.
I still get it reoccurring now every time I get the symptoms of a migraine. One side of my face drooped down. It happened to me only last week.
Nation states
And then, and the heart attack came about, well, it was about 8 months after my second. At that point, I hadn't really woken up. I didn't really connect the dots.
with the promises.
You start going on this journey, you start piecing everything together. I'm 41 years old. I'm fit and healthy and been active my entire life. I don't just wake up one morning and have a stroke.
You're absolutely right.
Or have a heart
I gotta
attack.
ask you though, after you
There
had
is
this stroke,
contributing fact.
I'm sure my audience is thinking it, Ed. You had a
For sure. And I think many people go through this journey of being awakened.
taken the
You know,
shot.
some people in our
you
audience
had
have been
the
awakened
stroke.
for many, many years, and that's
And-
wonderful.
It was about
Did you decide to go?
Just have found our show for the first time and have just recently awakened
So,
the
I
lies that
used
the
to run a
government
pub,
has been forcing upon
in
them. So, you know, everyone goes through, you know, a different stage
to
in
reopen the
their
pub
journey.
after lockdown.
I'm glad that you are part of the awakened population now.
I also had just started a
Could be
charity
added to the
delivering aid to Ukraine.
Teller mix.
Time,
So
we
I'll
were
get you out of here
driving
on this,
over to
Iggy. Where do
Ukraine.
you think things are going in the UK? What do you think is going to happen over the next few months?
I wasn't allowed out
Well,
of the
I
country
think that
unless they
the
got
so-called
vaccine.
far-right
Got
thugs
vaccine.
are
About 2 months afterwards was when
and the UK government needs to be prepared for that, and that doesn't necessarily mean violence, but there will be pushback. There needs to be pushback. Because we need to fight for the things that we believe in our country, our way of life.
I still get it reoccurring now.
And those things need to be protected. And this agenda, this West agenda, in my opinion, needs to be stopped. And Keir Starmer, you know, he is a West crony. You know, he's definitely on the payroll. He's definitely doing their bidding. And to be honest with you, I think there needs to be a vote of no confidence in his leadership. But whether we get that
I'm
with
41
the Labour
years
Party
old.
having such a vast majority in
Been
House Parliament now,
I don't just wake up one morning and have a stroke. There is contributing
Guest has been Digby Furno. He's the host of Man on the Run, a journalist who's been tracking all of this. Good luck on your big move and prayers for you and your family over there as well. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You too. Thanks, Dave. Take care.
Everyone goes through, a different stage in their journey. I'm glad that you are part of the awakening. Showing up with illegal migrants, what is happening in Europe as it descends into chaos? They will call you a racist. They will call you a bigot if you call out what is happening there, and if you try to point out how what's happening there is about to happen to the United States of America. Race riots across the country and more illegal immigrants causing violence and destruction in these countries. For that, we want to bring in today, new to the show, is Digby Furno. He is journalist and host of Man on the Run, and joins us, who knows deeply about what's happening in this part of the world, and can shed some light on all